Chronic spontaneous urticaria, or chronic hives with no known cause. It's so unpredictable. It's like playing pinball. Itchy, red bumps start on my arm, then my back. Sometimes my legs. Hives come out of nowhere. And it comes and goes. But I just found out about a treatment option at treatmyhives.com. Take that, chronic hives. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
Gentlemen, non-binary listeners, ladies, heroes and heroines, crooks and crookians, Richard Fleur, the audio performance you're about to enjoy discusses casinos and gambling. We do not recommend gambling with money you cannot afford to lose or that is needed to pay bills. If you have a gambling problem, contact your problem gambling hotline. If you do not know how to contact your problem gambling hotline, send an email to help@casinocombat.com. We will find that number for you and provide it to you. Our hosts' past performances are not indicative of anyone's future results, including his own. All materials presented here are based on actual facts. Names and dates are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. Some events, unrelated outcomes may be omitted in the interest of brevity and clarity. All content is the property of Volcanic Dingo LLC and all rights are reserved. It's me, it's TRG, the Rambling Gambler, jet flying, ship sailing, vest wearing, ring bearing, son of a plumbing salesman, the podcast host that talks the most, just trying to make a living and doing the best I can. Welcome to episode 150 and 2/3. Yes, we snuck another one in before we get to episode 151. No shade on episode 151. I really like episode 151. It has some good stuff in it, some of the best stuff I've ever done. It's just not finished yet, but really good. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to think there's some really things into it. We're going to get it finished up and out to you pretty quickly. So if I like it so much, and you're going to think it is really great, really, really great, some of the best stuff I've ever done, why episode 150 and 2/3? Well, we did a Zoom call last night as a follow-up to some recent squad travel, and it was great, really great. Wonderful, absolutely, and great and wonderful for a very specific reason. And Dr. ECE, our wonderful PhD of all things casino combat, captured it so well right afterwards when he posted to the group, it was what a lounge is supposed to be. It was an excellent example of what our squad is and has become. Yes, I led, and perhaps a little bit more than I want to in the future, and we can work on getting away from some of that. But many, many people contributed, and we all learned from each other. It was what I am trying to be, which is about us, not about me. And we did a great job of that last night. Casino Combat Chef was able to tell us all about a recent trip he took to Atlantic City, his first time in Atlantic City, share his results, share his experiences. Inner Circle member Gator Gambler joined us, and he was able to give us all information about recent trips he's taken to Atlantis in the Bahamas. Nakatomi Tony taught us how to only pay for parking once a day in Atlantic City. Equine Ensign shared information about how cabs and cab travel is capped price-wise in Atlantic City. Lucky Drunk has been leading a discussion online about Spanish 21, and we all talked about that for a while and got information on a book he really likes and the author of that book. A virtual VIP lounge indeed. Talking, sharing, laughing, having some sips, and most importantly, learning from each other. So it is my honor and my great privilege to share all of that with all of you. Let's adjourn to the virtual VIP lounge and have some sips while we listen to the stories.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to the most must-listen-to segment in casino lifestyle podcasting, the virtual VIP lounge. Our lounge is open, and we have the best virtual everything virtually all the time. The best virtual food and drink served in any virtual VIP lounge anywhere on the interwebs, guaranteed, or your money back. As always, if you can, press pause, pour yourself something, fix a plate. I am fortunate enough tonight to be doing this live with a number of members of the squad. A number of your favorite names and faces are all here with me. And what we are going to try to do is do a debriefing on a trip that I just took, a charter trip through MGM to the Beau Rivage in Biloxi, just in time for Blizzard, which has never occurred there before. So that was a lot of fun. That was the structure: charter, MGM, Biloxi, Blizzard. Help yourself, guys. Thank you very much for being here. It's wonderful that you took the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Cool. If that's the questions, then we're going to wrap up.
Well, what got you going down?
How'd you do? I mean, come on.
I think I heard some questions there from VCPD about the hows, wheres, and whys. We have an interesting dynamic in our house. My birthday is in January. My mother-in-law's birthday is in January. My middle son's birthday in January. My two newest grandsons' birthdays are in January, which means they were born a year ago in January. So the rule has kind of been, yes, sorry, but you can't travel or do anything in January despite the fact it's your birthday. And I think somewhat serendipity, but I think also a little bit of guilt. If you play things back, we did a trip to an Indian reservation for her birthday, and then we did a trip to Atlantic City for her birthday, and then this year we did Atlantic City to Bermuda to Atlantic City for her birthday. And so when we got an offer from MGM to take a charter Martin Luther King weekend, which corresponded with my birthday and didn't conflict with any of the grandchildren's official birthdays, she said, okay, well, I guess we can go. Actually, she didn't say that. She suggested that we should go. Interesting. I don't usually get MGM charter offers, or when I get them, it's $279 a person, $249 a person. These were $60, $58 taxes and fees per person, and then they gave us $60 in free slot play, and on the $120 of free slot play, we won $90. So the total cost, air, hotel, transfers, was actually $30 total to get us there, get us back. Somebody, and I want to answer ECE's question, but then remind me, somebody, to come back to what I'm hearing about MGM and comps and charters. I had a couple conversations about that in the last couple days. How we did, not good, not good at all. We got there early. Or no, we got there late on Friday, which was fine. We viewed it as an extra day, but we didn't actually get to the hotel and into our rooms till about 8:30 local time, which was 9:30 our time. And table limits were up a little bit. Really struck us Friday night, and people in Biloxi dress up to go to casino. Like most of the places I go, it doesn't matter whether it's Tuesday night or Friday night, unless it's New Year's Eve. And other than the occasional couple here or there that's really dressed up for something, obviously a special occasion, wardrobe doesn't change. People don't get dressed up or get dressed down. Atlantic City, Friday, Saturday night, you see people dressed up. You see a lot of women really, really dressed up compared to the rest of the country. But we noticed lots of people Friday night were, extra jackets, extra ties, a lot more dresses for women of all ages. And the table limits were pressed up and the tables were kind of full. And we were fortunate enough to find 2 seats at the video poker bar. And we played video poker, and I played some $1 tabletop blackjack, $1 blackjack doing TRG4 without chips is an interesting experience. So no real money lost there. The next day, made the rounds, had good free slot play, had good free bets at Harrah's, almost a half day's pay. So we went to Harrah's and went to Scarlet Pearl, which is maybe our favorite property in the Gulf area that we've been to, and had a nice run there. And the interesting story out of that nice run is that I end up with $100 bet, which means I'm into tier 2 play, and I get a pair of aces against a 7 and split them, and out comes another ace, and she just moves the card over. And I'm like, what? I can split that again? She goes, oh yeah, of course. Like it's the most normal thing in the world. Yes, exactly. When it normally isn't. And then I get a 9, I think. And then the next one I get an ace again, and she moves it again. So what started out as a $100 hand became 4 $100 hands. And fortunately, I won 3 out of the 4. It actually kicked off a nice little run. But just that little difference in not kind of knowing the environment, right? I don't play in Biloxi that much. I didn't realize that they allowed you to resplit aces twice. And so clearly in that moment, I was going back into my pocket to buy more chips because I didn't have enough chips in that moment on the table to make all the wagers. And that could have obviously been a real negative if it had gone differently. I was fortunate that it went my way. And then honestly, that was kind of the last good run that we had. We played a lot of craps and won $30 or lost $30. We'd almost play till boredom and not really do much of anything. Blackjack, we never, ever again really got things going. The house made a lot of hands, and we just had a lot of nights where it became obvious that we were wanting the win more than we wanted the action, but we didn't want the action to get to a win. We kept getting clipped early and then taking a little break and trying again and getting clipped quickly again and going, oh, we're going to be here. This is only the first night. Let's pack it in. Oh, this is only the second night. Never got going. Never had any. We had plenty of slot wins, but they were all minimal. Just we were playing, and we'd get some great feature, and it'd be a lot of fun, and we'd have $25. So none of those features ever went off and went, oh, here's $200 or here's $300. And not necessarily the blackjack losses were bad or big. They were just quick, never got much of a win stack. And we're constantly getting beat by good dealer draws and just going, oh, we've seen this before, we'll get them tomorrow. Oh, we've seen this before, we'll get them tomorrow. And then tomorrow was the day we were supposed to leave, and we were snowed in, and then it was like, okay, we're done. So Biloxi, love Beau Rivage. I'm going to start charging the town of Biloxi to never, ever go there again. Because every time I go, they tell me this is the only time we ever had weather this bad. We're so sorry you're here. The only time this weather was so horrible. It's never like this. Well, it's always like that, and it's getting progressively worse. The first time it was cold and rainy in like June. Well, okay. Well, the next time was cold and rainy and sleety in January, and this time they got 8.5 inches of snow. So I think I'm just going to start sending them an invoice, and if they don't pay it, then I'm going to show up and I'm going to ruin their weather. I just think that's the way to go. What was I going to remember to come back to? I don't remember what I was going to remember.
The MGM comps.
Thank you. Yeah. I have, let's call it a conspiracy theory, or I'm seeing other people have a conspiracy theory. That's the better way to have it. There's a lot of people reporting online that they've been gold for a number of years. That's tier 3, if you don't recall what gold is. But they were gold for a number of years. They didn't make gold this year, and their offers got noticeably better. And I've seen 2 or 3 people ask the question, hey, kind of in a, hey, is it just me or is anybody else seeing this? And people are seeing it, and people are seeing it kind of across the MGM brands a little bit. And so I'm wondering if that's why I got what is a much better than normal offer for right at the beginning of the year. And I got it kind of right after the first of the year for a whole set of January and February dates. If they are trying to grab some people that they perceive as not playing with them as much as they have in the past, some of those types of things. As I said, I've skipped these offers in the past because at $279 per person, it's not super attractive. At $60 a person, it was pretty attractive. And I also think the other thing that I'm seeing a little bit is I think I'm seeing the market soften a little for whatever reason, and offers to get a little better that way. And maybe it's all just anecdotal, maybe it's all just circumstantial, but I hadn't really had the thought until I saw these different postings online from different people in different places going, am I the only one that offers suddenly got better right after they didn't make gold? So if that fits you, you might want to see if that's the case. I was surprised while I was there, I got emailed another offer to come back next month. Same kind of exact trip.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Let me ask you this.
You want to go? Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Did you notice any kind of staffing problem in the casino when you were snowed in? I mean, I'm sure there was.
Yeah. So it shows you don't know what you don't know. And thank you so much for the relevant question. Before we got the notice that the flight was going to be delayed, as it's happening, I'm watching the weather and I'm thinking, we may get snowed in. Oh, wow, we'll get an extra day. Oh, this will be great. I have a story about getting stuck in a casino in a blizzard and in the deep south. That is going to be such a great story. It is a great story. It's just not the story I expected to tell. I had images of day drinking, fill in light beer name here, occasionally ordering some shots of Canadian whiskey and putting $18 on the 8. And just hanging out the craps table and getting points and sipping beers and telling stories and collecting stories to share with people. And then going to dinner at the steakhouse. And I was sure that as soon as they canceled that flight or delayed that flight, we'd get some free slot play and we'd get a resort credit because they were so sorry they had to do this to us. That's how it existed in my brain. Like Fantasy Island back when the original Mr. Rourke ran it. It was just going to be a blast to be snowed in a casino.
Well,
it wasn't. It wasn't that at all. They never opened the craps tables. Once they delayed the flight and things in town started closing down, they didn't open the craps tables. They didn't give us any free play. They didn't give us any resort credits. They only had the whole time 2 baccarat tables, 50 and 100, 4 blackjack tables, 50, 100, 25, 25, total of 20 chairs. So there was almost never a seat to be had. And if you did, you had to mentally be aware that you're going to feel this pressure not to stop playing because there's always people waiting, looking to get a seat. The video poker bar was always packed once things started shutting down, because in Mississippi, it is still old school Vegas style. If you put $5 in the machine and put your card in the card slot, and when the bartender comes by, if you order a drink and tip them $3 a drink, if you just keep drinking, they just keep filling, whether you really play or don't play. And it was often the only bar open in the whole place. And there was always a bartender. And so you go down at 7:30 in the morning, bar's full. Everybody's got a drink in their hand. Oh, and the cigarette. Yeah, we need to talk about that. Everybody's got a drink in their hand. Everybody's got a cigarette in their hand. And that bar was full. Somebody even formed a line at one point, an official line at one end of the bar of people waiting for people to get up. They didn't have enough people to open a lot of the restaurants, so it was all hit or miss. They didn't have enough staff for room service, so that was not something they were doing. And it was not, oh, you poor dears, let us try to take care of you. It was, I'd really like to explain to you what an annoyance it is here that I have to deal with you because I have snow. There is snow, and snow has ruined my life. And as a member of this team and you as a guest, I want to tell you about how traumatized I am by this snow. Because there is snow. Do you know there is snow? And I normally take 20 minutes to get home, and it took 40 minutes yesterday. I live in a place where it snows. I left home with 18 inches of snow on the ground. I'm empathetic. I get it. I mean, here's my reaction in hindsight. They hadn't had snow like this since 1987. Many of the people in and around were not even born the last time this happened. They have no equipment. They have no gear. They have no nothing, but they have a weather app on their phone. And when the first bit of snow hit, they closed almost everything and looked at the weather app on their phone and said, it's Tuesday, and it is going to be 55 on Thursday. I guess we'll wait. And we're lucky. We talked to two young ladies who came down to the casino from one of the minor Marriott brands that doesn't have a restaurant and doesn't have a bar. And it was 1.5 miles away. They had partied the night before because they couldn't go anywhere, missed the free continental breakfast, and by the time they got up, the vending machines were almost empty. there was no food in the hotel. They had literally, like the one girl had her pajamas wrapped around her neck and made into a scarf because they had no cold weather clothing in their existence. In their life, they have none. They live in the deep South. And they walked a mile and a half down, got dinner because there was an open restaurant, and they were drinking in the bar because they had no liquor in their room and they wanted to stay warm on the walk back. Not recommending that. Not necessarily a great choice, perhaps. So what I thought was going to be a really cool, locked in a fully functional casino became there really isn't much to do here. I'm locked in a casino, and we just, in many ways, never got a chance to try to make back what had been lost. There was really never a place to play in any meaningful way. And we just went, okay, we're going to do some of the stuff we would normally do at home if we were snowed in. We're going to do a little remote work. Mrs. TRG has been learning the fine art of crocheting, and we're just going to enjoy the fact that we are looking out on this huge, beautiful body of water and this really kind of cool little beach, all covered in snow. And the fact that we have restaurants that work, minor as they are, and we have a bar that opens where you can buy drinks, and there's nothing to be done about it because every bridge is closed, every airport is closed, and we are where we are. Again, there was another thing.
Well, and on top of all that, you were beat up, so you couldn't even. There was a finite amount of money, I'm assuming. You know what I mean?
I don't. We certainly were being. It was atypical. Usually, if we take a loss at a table, the next table, at least one of us does well, and the other person does okay, or one person does well. There wasn't a lot of that. So there was certainly some. We've dug in as deep as we're going to dig in tonight. Tomorrow's another day. And I suppose if we had done well all along, we might have said, oh, hey, you know what, honey, while you're doing this and this, I'm going to go down and play the $100 table because we're up more than one buy-in. But you weren't going to play bigger under duress with limited options, or we weren't. Wasn't going to try to force my way in and then try to fix it. It became, if we could have easily gotten into $25 games during the day, I think we would have. We'd check every few hours. It'd still be full. There'd still be people waiting. So it became, okay, it is what it is. We took a smack here, and it just, none of it did what things always do. You know, a lot of times we take a certain amount of money and we get beat up on day one or day two, and we take a little more money out, which we planned on doing. And then by the day after that, we've got a nice profit and everything's good. And we're just going to unwind that when we get home. And we weren't in a situation where that was doable without just playing where it was less than comfortable. So it became enjoying what was open, and I don't know, just one of those you just have to look at it and go, we had a winning month last month. We had a winning year last year. This is not the end of the world. This was just one that got away from us, and we didn't have a chance to get it back. If we'd have gone
and it wasn't your fault. It really
right.
wasn't your fault.
And if we'd have come home the day we were supposed to come home, the next day I'd have gone to work, billed clients, stopped at the 3 casinos, played a little bit at the big casino, looked to win a little money, and just put things back on track. But after then 2 days of not really being able to play, it then became figure out how to get my world back together. So I haven't played much since I got back. I've been involved in some other things. What was the trigger? Oh, first thing in the morning, everybody's got a drink. Everybody's got a cigarette. big realization. Big realization. Where I live, you can't smoke. Can't smoke inside. Can't smoke inside at a Denny's. Can't smoke inside at a bank. Can't smoke inside other than your own private home. Or I guess your friend's private home if they choose to allow it. You're not smoking in casinos. I used to smoke. I'm not super anti-smoking particularly. But maybe as I'm aging, I really notice it. To put it in perspective, like I notice it at Tropicana in AC. Particularly the one little set of slots that's right across the aisle from the Laurel Lounge. I'll notice the cigarette smoke's pretty heavy. I barely notice it at Ocean. Just never really, even when people are smoking, it never, I'll visually see people smoke, but it doesn't really bother me. I don't really particularly perceive it. And I always went, oh, newer building, better air handling. Well, the Beau Rivage is not as new as Ocean, but it's a relatively new construction. Smoking is allowed, and the smoke handling was horrible. I mean, it would just, you'd walk through the restaurant kind of section and cross security into the casino, and it's like it just hit you in the face. The bar where the video poker was, it was enough to choke you. It literally was one of those things that we were getting ready to head home and limited clothing, right? Because we stayed 2 whole days longer than we were supposed to stay. And we're both going through our bags going, oh, this is clean. Oh, well, it's clean, but it's been sitting here with the other stuff, so it smells like smoke. And not that it necessarily has anything to do with anything, but I don't get how people, I guess I'm too old for smoke-filled rooms anymore.
That's the biggest gripe here in Virginia. The casino is the only place you can smoke, and they take advantage of that.
Yeah, smoking at Tropicana. I am a smoker, and that was horrible at the Tropicana, I thought, anyway.
Okay, CK2. So you were there recently. That's right. How was you took your daughter to school and then you stopped at Tropicana. Tell us about that.
That was well, our daughter got accepted to NYU, so we made a deal with her at the beginning of the semester. If she got accepted, we would get her up there. So we did all that stuff, and me and my wife snuck out one night while we were still in New York and went to what's the name of that one? Resorts Casino in NYC, excuse me. We took the train. That was an hour-long train ride at 11:30 at night, which stops in Jamaica, Queens. And then you have to walk almost one and a half, almost 2 miles in Jamaica, Queens with a bankroll in your pocket. So that was not the smartest thing we did. But then, and it was bad there. It was all virtual, but they did have European roulette as a virtual game. And then it was all table games. But then the next day we rented a car because that was actually the cheapest way to get to AC. And we just drove down the coastline. I would have thought we would have saw a lot more coast driving down there. Then we got to the Tropicana. And, because it was my first time ever having a host or using a host, and I went with you. And we got there, and it was just, I guess it's what we've been missing. We have, reservation casinos where we live. So when you get to AC, I mean, the boardwalk is beautiful, but that storm was coming in as well that you were. Remember, I was texting you. We got stuck there.
Yep.
We had to drive back in it. But I don't know what it was, but it was packed. The Tropicana's table games, I couldn't get in. And then right when I finally could get in, because I was talking to ECE and I wanted to play Let It Ride. So I was finally able to get on there, but it was $25 min on the tables. And, I don't get to green chips too much unless it's blackjack. And so on Let It Ride, I just kept getting wrecked everywhere we went. Finally, we took a walk down to Caesars on the boardwalk. 25 degrees outside. All the locals told us don't go in front of the casinos, only go on the boardwalk whenever you walk to the other one. And so we poked our head in Caesars and we found high limit dragon links, which we've been looking for a long time. And then as we were getting wrecked, I don't know if you guys can see it, but my wife hits that one I sent you a picture of.
Nice.
For those of you who are
Caesars.
listening, it's a $5,500 hand pay he was showing us.
Yeah, on her third spin, doing with our through going through her progressions at $2.50, she smacked that thing for 5,700. So
Nice.
all is right in our world, and then it's like I sat down at a lightning link right next to her, high limit. I've had confidence. Boom, hit that one for a hand pay, maybe 6 minutes after her.
Nice.
Bankrolls are, yeah, I mean, it was so, she was waiting on hers, and I'm sitting here going, my turn, even though hers was 3x mine. But it was crazy how that little bit of confidence that, oh my gosh, everything's right back in the, your bankroll world. Actually, we paid for the whole entire trip with all that stuff. And then the next thing you know, everything starts hitting. I get a hand pay 6 minutes later. We sit down and we play blackjack, and I 2 days pay for me, and I caught was pretty close to what y'all call the unicorn, or what we all call the unicorn hand. Except for on my fourth, it was split eights. I had 4 of them out. Caught 3, 2, king. And I caught a 5. So it was against a 4. So I doubled, stayed, and then ended up hitting 21, 20, 18, and then the dealer ended up drawing to, what was it? 17, and then beating me out on my last hand. So it's so much, guys, I don't know, it's so awesome whenever you get back to rolling again, and it was kind of weird, but the day we got there actually was our 1-year anniversary of us ever starting our little gambling journey.
Oh, wow.
So as much as we've learned in 1 year, it was good to be right back on track. Then we had the infamous pancakes for breakfast.
At Gilcrest.
Yeah, Gilcrest is, yeah. I was really expecting things to be expensive there. Wow, it was $12-13 for, I think you got a meat, potatoes, eggs, and pancakes. I think it was $13. They're almost like crepes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's what, so I was trying to figure out what was so special, but no, they're so aerated and all that. So we enjoyed that. And then I had to see oceans. So before we got back in the car to drive back, which, by the way, now that storm that's hitting you is hitting us, it's officially 3 degrees in Atlantic City. It was so cold. I went to Oceans. That might be the prettiest casino I've ever seen.
Yep.
You can put your feet up out on a window while you're pushing a slot machine and look at the ocean. So, and I felt like whenever I was riding up the stairs, I kind of felt like Rain Man, when I was coming back. But I love how everything in that whole thing was opened up. So I just did a quick walk through, and then we had to hit back the road. But Atlantic City is something that, excuse me, I think we're actually going to start going to, because we just had so much fun. Plus, it was an hour and 30-minute drive, so we could see our daughter in NYC. And plus, I don't know, I really liked it there. But it was very shady on the front side of the casinos. So.
Okay, so, and you probably know, but for others that might not know, if you like Atlantic City and it's a place you want to get back to, the same way that we got to Biloxi, you can get to Atlantic City. And the tie-in for you of going up to see your daughter is that Caesars Rewards Air always has on their website a published schedule that goes about 3 months out. They just dropped the March flights today. And if you make sure you put in your player's card number, and if your wife's going with you, her player's card number, because then you can search a couple weeks at a time and they will show you the airports around you, what charters are going and what things cost.
Oh, wow.
And because it's hard to fly in to Atlantic City. There's only a few flights that come in that aren't charters or private, a handful. But the charters fly from half a dozen cities within 2 hours of us all the time. And we're often comped other than $45 of fees or something like that on the whole thing. So it becomes one of those, you can't necessarily exactly pick your dates because they've chartered the plane from this day to this day, but you often has a wide range of choices and an opportunity to fly in there, and then they transfer you from the airport to the hotel, and obviously whatever you agreed to pay them up front is all it's going to cost. It's the hotel, it's the transfer, it's the flight back, and those fly from almost everywhere. So that can, if you like Atlantic City and want to go back, I mean, we sometimes go twice in the same month from 2 different airports.
Would that be something that I would just do through my Caesars app, or is this like one of those things that you or PCH would handle, or is it better for me to get my dates and then send it to you?
Right. So the best way to do it, and I'll qualify best here a little bit, is to find what you want date-wise on their system and what they're going to charge you, and there'll be an offer code, like an 8-letter number code. And if you grab that code and then pass that to me, we'll book it. And we sometimes get some options for room upgrades that they're not necessarily showing you. But the most important part is this. If we do that for you, even though you could do it yourself, then we control the reservation. And when you're getting ready to check out, you can send me a text message and say, hey, I'm checking out in a couple hours. And we can look at comping off stuff on the back. But if you book it on your own, even though, like in this situation, I booked you to Tropicana and Tropicana has you coded to us, if you book it without us and then go, hey, we played a bunch last night, but we also ate dinner, we can't adjust a reservation we didn't submit. We don't have control of that reservation, so we can't do any of the back-end comps. The other thing we can't do is, suppose you got there and you booked it on your own and there's a problem, whatever it is. The room is horrible or whatever. And you say, hey, guys, can you help me out? I got this problem. I know you've got a contract. Caesars is going to go, you didn't book them. They're not your guest this trip. If we book it, even when you could, if there's a problem, then you're our guest. And we have leverage to try to help you get resolved whatever there is that's resolved. So my feeling of it as a former customer is that there's enough advantages there, even though they're minor and I might not need them, that it's been worth doing for me most of the time. And then the other thing I will say I'm observing only since I've been on the other side a little bit is PCH really does do a good job with the back-end comps with Caesars. They really do a good job of cleaning up some of those things for us when other hosts normally just tell me no.
Well, I really wanted to, and that's one thing that I wanted to say thank you to you and to PCH. I know I had a better peace of mind whenever I text you and I was, hey, I have whatever it was, $70 charge on my credit card. And within, and I know you're out of town and dealing with a bunch of stuff, but you instantly send me a screenshot. Oh, don't worry about that. And we also took this off the back end. I wasn't even asking for that. I was just wondering where the charge came from. But that peace of mind of knowing that you guys have the phone numbers or the quick call, you have the connections. It was just, now I can just get in my car and drive, and then, hey, I don't have to worry about it because TRG and PCH has it, and then they'll just let me know if I owe anything or not. It was kind of funny that was it 150.5 that you posted yesterday? I was that guy, like, oh man, I hope I played enough. I didn't want to let anyone down. But whenever I didn't even ask for comps, and you guys just did it for me on the back end. So I truly wanted to say thank you for that. And I've got something special for you and for your birthday that I might make it up there one day to Vegas just during FOS, not just to give it to you. So,
that'd be great. That'd be absolutely great.
So I just want to say thank you again. And
you're most welcome.
AC was beautiful.
Yeah.
Next time we're staying at Oceans, though.
Well, I can't help you with Oceans, but I get it.
All right.
I like staying there as well, so I understand.
CK2, I think I could help you out with Oceans.
There we go.
And I am working on getting to the next level, and I should be able to get free rooms. And the Ace gets free rooms under her slot play. And by the way, congratulations on your 2 hand paintings.
That's the best.
Happy for you. I'm glad I hope you enjoyed my neck of the woods. And
I'm sorry I couldn't get with you up there. It was a quick turnaround for us, and so I really wanted to. I wish we could have had breakfast with y'all, but we had to hit the road super early. So next time we're in there, I will most definitely love to treat you guys to dinner.
CK, you definitely got to check their pool out too. It's awesome. It's open year round, and it's combination inside outside.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. It was -2 degrees. That was the coldest I've ever been. And then we got stuck in Denver overnight. Well, like we made our flight, and then we got stuck in Denver, and then that was cold too. I thought of calling TRG and seeing if they had their casino was an hour and 10 minutes away. I was like, man, just get us a room there because everyone was getting laid over in Denver. And but yeah, I will check it all out. I bet you it's beautiful during the spring and summer, isn't it? Atlantic City.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We'll check it out. That was at Oceans, or was that at Tropicana you were talking about?
No, that was Ocean.
Yeah, I bet you everything they do is amazing.
Yeah. Yep, it's my favorite casino down there, but I always play Caesars because that's where I get all my comps and everything. So,
right,
for now,
get down there
for now.
Well, why is
we'll convert you.
What is the deal with parking? Oh my goodness! I guess every casino I play in, I've never had to pay for parking. And in Atlantic City, we were going to just stop by because I wanted to see them all. And the Hard Rock, and we have never played Hard Rock. So if you don't have a player's card, it's $30 up front for parking at the Hard Rock.
Hard Rock you pay on the way in. Most of the other ones you pay on the way out. And you can do a one-time transfer. So let's just say you go to Ocean and you pay your $5. Ask the cashier for a receipt, and you can go to another casino, present that receipt, and you can park for free. But it's just you can move one time. You follow me?
Yeah, I got you.
Huh. Tony, that's
yes,
kind
sir.
of a really unique thing to Atlantic City. Would you run that down again for everybody in terms of how parking works to transfer?
Absolutely. So the way it works is you get a one-time transfer for parking in Atlantic City. So like the example I just gave, so you're playing at Ocean and you go to leave. You can ask the cashier for a receipt. You take that receipt, and let's just say you want to go to Hard Rock, even though it's right next door. Let's just say you want to go to Tropicana because it's further away, or even Borgata, any other casino in Atlantic City. You take that same receipt, and when you go to leave the next casino, you just present the receipt, and you don't have to pay for parking again.
Yeah, so that's technically, if I was at Tropicana, and then I did find that I had one free parking slip there. If I turn that in, like whenever I'm going out, you turn it into the cashier. If I got a receipt from them, could I use the transfer?
I don't know if it would work with free like a parking comp, because I think at Tropicana, if you earn 20 points, I think that qualifies you for free parking at Tropicana or any Caesar's property, I would imagine. I don't know if that you can get a receipt for that or not, to be honest with you.
Well, for anyone listening, if you're looking at the kiosk, it's the bottom left side is where your free parking is after you get your points, because we didn't realize that till the next morning. So, because I've never had to deal with parking, but luckily my wife saw it on the way out, so we did get that one free parking. But
yeah,
y'all
also
got a nice
you
thing up there.
But if you're staying somewhere, you don't have to drive in taxis 13 max to any casino.
Right.
Yep, that was going to be my tip as well. I normally don't play the parking game because we just grab cabs and run from A to B because it is limited to $13. That was a great point, Equine Ensign, no doubt about it.
So one thing to add about the smoking and the non-smoking. So just for context, I grew up, both of my parents smoked. So I was not immune to what it felt like to live and breathe smoke and have your clothes smell like smoke. But when I moved out, I do not smoke. So that was always a pet peeve of mine. Like, you know, when I would go to a casino, because I started at a very young age, I would basically take my clothes and put them in the dry cleaning bag that were exposed to smoke. But that's one of the reasons I made Park MGM in Vegas my home casino, because the whole property is non-smoking. So, and it's connected directly to Aria, which is kind of like Ocean. Like, yeah, you kind of smell it, but they have so many different scents going on that you really don't pay any attention to it. So, you know, that's one of the reasons I stay at Park MGM.
That makes a lot of sense. Those little things. Yep. Those
it is. And, you know, obviously now I'm starting to go to the Bahamas a lot more. And Atlantis, I guess it hasn't always been this way, but not too long ago, they made their casino non-smoking. So that's nice.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
There's an interesting anecdote, because they're always debating the smoking in the casinos, and people are against, for and against. And of course, a lot of the dealers can't stand it, because they're forced to be to confront it. So they had a hearing in Trenton, the state capital of New Jersey, and a lot of the dealers went, and the union went. They were sitting at the hearing. They all lit up a cigarette inside the hearing. They're just like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Well, this is what we face." You know,
that's genius.
A cool way to present their case.
Well, so where Ocean sits now, wasn't that the Revel that they tried to make the non-smoking casino that failed?
Correct.
Yeah. So I grew up in Delaware, and my first stint at gambling was my grandparents and parents took us to Atlantic City. So I spent a lot of time in Atlantic City as a young man, and my dad worked in Philly for a long time. So I've contemplated, because I don't like traveling to the West Coast and dealing with the time change, to start going to Atlantic City more, but I haven't really made any headwind in that direction yet. I think my new go-to on the East Coast is the Bahamas. I'm 3 trips so far in the last few months, and I really like it.
That's a rough life, that you have to go to the Bahamas to go gambling every 2 or 3 weeks.
I wish it was every 2 or 3 weeks. It's been like every month or 2 months.
So Gator Gambler, I've always heard that Atlantis is beautiful but pricey, and the table limits are high. Is that accurate or not accurate?
I would say that is not 100% accurate. So since I've been going there, which again is just 3 trips in the last like 5 months, I've seen table limits as low as $10.
Oh.
The problem is there's not many tables open until nighttime. Like, they don't even open the high limit until after 8 p.m. or around 8 p.m. And I haven't gone to check out Baja Mar yet. Prior to my recent visits, the last time I was in Nassau was Crystal Palace sat where Baja Mar is. So it's been a really, really long time. But I heard that Baja Mar, their tables stay open 24 hours, where at Atlantis, only the slot machines and the cashier stays open 24 hours. So my problem though is with high limit, the cheapest table that I've seen in there has been 200, and most of the time it's minimum 500.
Oh.
I never want to be forced to play at that level. I can work my way up, but usually in Vegas you can find a high limit for $100, right? Black chips.
Right. Yep.
And Atlantis, I think I want to start trying Spanish 21. And they have one table. And I think the minimum was only $15. So, but I like the rules a little more. So I'm starting to study the strategy.
So I can't completely update you on Baja Mar in terms of 24 hours, but the last time we were there, because we were there unexpectedly, we did get off the ship and go to Baja Mar, and it would have been a Wednesday around lunchtime. And they had 3 $25 blackjack tables open that were 3 to 2. They were 6 decks, and they were hit saw 17 tables. But other than that, I mean, within those parameters, very playable. And there were 3 open, and there were plenty of chairs. I mean, a chair or 2 open at each table, and they had 1 craps table open at $15. Not a lot of other stuff open. I mean, obviously the slot machines were on and running, but not a lot of other. We walked around and went, this is a huge, gigantic casino. Where is everybody?
Yeah.
There's not a lot. And maybe they're all at the beach. I don't know. But tables were open and tables were playable. And that's great information about Atlantis. I may try a little harder to get down there now.
Yeah, I'm going back in April for a tournament, and I plan to go over to Baja Mar just to check it out because they're also having a tournament on the same day. I don't think I can play in both just because of the theoretical that's required. So I don't think I can hit both theoreticals at both properties.
In the same day?
Yeah, in the same in the same weekend.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that I don't like about Atlantis, even in the high limit at $500 a hand, they do not let you surrender, which I can't stand. Yeah, playing that high of a limit, you think minimum 500 they let you surrender, but that's another reason I want to give Spanish 21 a try.
Spanish 21 was everywhere in Atlantic City. That's when I guess I messaged you on that group chat about it. So I want to learn it, but there's only one place around me, and that's Albuquerque. It's a 3-hour drive for us to play it, but so
yeah,
I'm curious to
it's
see how it
very
goes.
prevalent in Atlantic City.
It looks like a really fun game. What's the difference? What the actual tens are removed?
Yeah,
is that correct?
But you can surrender at any time.
And it's
you get
hit
paid
double anytime
too. You can double. You get paid on blackjack and 21 like right away. You don't have to wait.
Oh,
Jeremy,
like
you
to check the card?
You play that? Is that your game? You're on mute. Hey, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Hold on.
For those of you listening along at home, he's trying to answer us, and we can see him trying to answer us, but he's on mute, so we can't hear him, so you can't hear him.
There we go. Now
there you go.
Now we're hitting with gas. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's my main game that I play here in Washington State, as it is the lowest house edge game that I can find. It's all over. Pretty much every casino has it. There's the variation that I find that has the best house edge is the kind that you can redouble. And so it definitely has a very different basic strategy than the kind where you don't redouble. But I always say the best, if you can find one that is either stay on soft 17 or stand on all 17s or redouble, those are the two best Those are the two best ones you can find. But even if the worst game you're going to find is going to be a 0.76% house edge, which is still not a bad deal, especially if you're dealing with, nothing but 6-5 payout blackjacks or, $200 minimums or whatever you're talking about. It's a good game. Yeah.
Yeah. In Atlantis, they only have one table. So next time I go, I'm going to give it a try, but I'll keep you guys updated.
Yep.
Excellent. So show of hands, because I saw something that I had only heard rumor of. Has anybody ever seen or played on a repeater craps table? Getting all no's. Well, I had some of the people on the dice cruise explain it to me, and then having been educated a little bit, found out that at Harrah's Gulf Coast, they actually have a repeater table, and it's a bet you make before the shooter starts. And it can be as little as $1, and it's on each number. And you have to have that number thrown multiple times. And this is for illustration. This isn't going to be perfect, but for example, 2 and 12, if they hit 3 times on the same shooter, then it pays like 18-1. And 3 is 4 times per shooter. 6 and 8 have to hit 8 times per shooter. But it pays ridiculously large amounts. It has ridiculously large house advantage, of course. But it was fast. I can see why the people on the dice cruise would like a table like that, because they're expecting to roll a lot of the same numbers over and over again. It was the busiest, craziest table I've ever seen, because it had repeater, all tall, small, and fire.
That's a lot of licensing to pay.
So every time you like, okay, who wants what? As we're getting ready to start the next hand, well, I want 2-2-2, and I want a fire. Well, sir, you need a pass line bet, and on the repeater, give me the 2, the 3, the 12, the 11. And everybody at the table is doing that. So that was my first. Harrah's Gulf Coast was my first time seeing a repeater craps table, and at least as a result of recent education, I knew what I was looking at and how it worked and what it did.
That's got to be great on a 7 on the come out. Everybody has to reset, and they got to put it all back up there again.
Yep. Oh, exactly right. Exactly. It's like, okay, and now we're going to, well, not the fire. You wouldn't have to reset the fire, but yeah, everything else. And fortunately, it was Mississippi on a Sunday morning, so there wasn't a lot of people around. But they got us. The last 2 times we've gone to Harrah's, and the second time we went, if we can't go to Bo the next time, we're just not going to come, because we always end up at Bo when we come here to Harrah's because there's no place to gamble. Well, wouldn't you know it, we're sitting at Bo having made the trip that we said we wanted to make, and I look in the Caesars app and find out we have almost a half day's pay in free bets expiring today. It's a $4 Uber. So we Uber down and play through that free money, and then go back to, I went to Scarlet Pearl and then went back to Beau Rivage. And then the next day we look in the app, and now we have the same offers again expiring in 7 days because their internal weekly calendar reset. So we ended up going back to Harrah's twice, just because the amount of free bets they had available to us was compelling. We didn't win much on them, but it was a big enough number to get us to waste $4 or $5 to run down.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels on everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
When I see commercials for the Gulf Coast,
Thank you.
they always talk up their food, their cuisine. What's your opinion of some of the local, especially I think the seafood, the shrimp, the oysters? What are your thoughts?
I don't know that I'm enough of a seafood connoisseur to, for instance, say, oh, Atlantic City shrimp is so much better than Gulf shrimp, or Gulf shrimp is so much better than wherever else is. I don't know that I'm enough of a seafood expert in that way. I will say food choices are great. MGM and Harrah's do a nice job of high-end, low-end. Particularly, Beau Rivage has a high-end Italian place that's very good, a high-end coastal seafood place, a steakhouse, and an Asian and noodle bar that are all high-end. We didn't have a bad meal. We ate the Italian place twice. But the other interesting thing I will say, about the Gulf Coast and seafood that I don't necessarily see other places is that particularly when you get to some of the seafood, they'll tell you that you're getting so many red shrimp and so many this shrimp. And they have on the same menu, it's not just shrimp and it's not just oysters or scallops or clams. It's this kind of clam and this kind of clam. It's so many of this kind of seafood and so many of this kind of seafood. And how in the world they managed to do that harvest and make that make sense, I don't know. But that's true. Like even Harrah's has this little pier that goes out actually over the water, and they've got a little traditional seafood shack out there. And they'll do every kind of seafood, every kind of way. Mostly just served old school in red plastic baskets with wax paper. But the variety is stunning for what is essentially a wooden shack. And that's also a great place for sunsets. They are very, I think, justifiably proud of their sunsets out over the water while eating seafood. That is certainly a trend we've noticed, even with the snow and even with the cloudy. We got several really, really nice sunsets. I enjoyed one of those sunsets with the bottle of wine you sent us, Dr. ECE. We really appreciated that. It was a bit of a mystery who it came from, but we appreciated it. We enjoyed that with a great Gulf Coast sunset. Anybody else? We went about an hour. All good, all done. I'll apologize. I really was thinking pretty hard. It's like we always have an after dark. We always have something that I'm not going to put out to the whole interwebs that we have to share and talk about after we do the little wrap up thing. I couldn't think of any. I couldn't think of anything that fell in the after dark category. Maybe we're just getting a little older and a little more settled in. But thank you. I think this was a lot of fun. I think it was great to get to hear from Gator Gambler about Atlantis, to get to hear from CK2 about his sense of Atlantic City. Maybe we start looking at doing these as people travel, even when it's not me traveling. You know, if we've got a couple people that are going to travel over a close period of time, maybe we do this. Certainly, I think we do one of these a few days after we get back from the pre-Mardi Gras Fosnot weekend trip. We'll certainly have to do one. We'll obviously have to do one when we get back from the Casino Combat Card Cruise. But I think it was great that we got to hear from a lot of people. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. And the other thing I'll say is thank you from all the listeners that aren't here that you don't necessarily know, because I've been getting pretty consistent feedback from people saying that they really do enjoy these when we podcast them, when these go out in the world, that they feel like they're learning a lot about various places that they haven't been, or tricks about places they have been. So these are a fan favorite, and all of you are fan favorites, and I certainly do appreciate you guys taking the time this evening.
No problem.
Thanks. Hey,
I know Lucky Drunk has come on board recently. He's a great addition, and you're a great addition. I'd like to thank you for your comments. I think you're very insightful, and I think you brought to my attention Spanish 21, which I'm going to look into when I get more time.
I ordered that book from Amazon too. I just haven't
welcome
cracked it
addition.
yet.
Yeah, good job, man.
Well, thank you, Dr. EC. I appreciate that. And it's great. I feel very welcome. Very welcomed by everybody. And so, yeah, thank you. Looking forward to just continuing this great conversation.
Tell me, Tony, what book are you talking about from Amazon?
There was in our Slack group. There was what the heck's the name of the title? Hold on.
It's by Katarina Walker. You talk about the Prose Guide to Spanish 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the only book on Spanish 21 on Amazon.
It's kind of the Bible for Spanish 21. So if you want to learn how to card count Spanish 21, or you can learn the basic strategy on the Wizard of Odds website, which is great, but she gives more of a detailed breakdown as to how and the why of the basic strategy. And she passed away a few years ago, but she was a very good AP Advantage player, and she was definitely a pro. And so she's probably
all the comments on Amazon. They were a lot of people gave good praise, and they said that it's too bad she passed away because there would be nice follow-ups. But I'll post the link to it in the Slack group.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, my only question was for PCH, how many different properties do they cover?
Okay, so PCH has contracts to book people at all Caesars properties. I've heard it two ways. I've heard all Caesars properties, and I've heard all Caesars properties in North America. So we'd have to test that if somebody wanted to go to Dubai, which is a non-gambling property. But any Caesars properties in North America, even those that are owned by indigenous tribes but managed by Caesars, we can book those. We can book all the station casinos in and around Las Vegas. We can book all of Penn Gaming, which is Hollywood casinos, or mostly Hollywood casinos. They've got a few others that they have not rebranded. So all of Penn Gaming, all of the Seneca Nation casinos, which is a real interesting option. If you're not familiar, Seneca Nation has a beautiful property at Niagara Falls. You got to be pretty tall up to overlook Niagara Falls because it is on the American side. But beautiful, beautiful property, beautiful rooms, lots of stained glass used in and around the casino. Understandably, a lot of indigenous motifs. I actually have one fun story about that. I'll come back to that. But Seneca Niagara, and then there's Seneca Buffalo, which is right downtown Buffalo, New York, which is great if you want to do sporting events or something like that there. And they just, I'll say recently, but it was before the pandemic, they did a remodel and an expansion that kind of took it from it's fine for what it is to, oh, this is really nice. Added some extra dining and that kind of stuff. And then Seneca Allegheny, which is, there's a famous ridge that runs through western New York. Maybe I'll think of it. But anyway, it's right near Peak and Peak, a big ski resort and outdoor activity area, and very nice. And the hotel rooms are amazing. And they are still like the pandemic never happened there. They still, back to the thing about parking and costing money in AC, they still park your car if you have a hotel reservation as part of your hotel reservation, and thank you for tipping them a couple dollars. If they bring up room service, it's in the cart with the warmers and the white tablecloth and the china and the heavy silverware and all of that kind of stuff. Little hard. They expect a little more to get a room comp than maybe some of the other places in the region, but they also give away a lot more in free play and food comps than some competing products. Table limits generally are a wide range. You will find $10 tables to $100 tables on a busy Friday night. Seneca Allegheny is also they have a very robust music program. They have a big not a theater, but an amphitheater, a small arena, and they pretty consistently have groups in almost every week, most of the year, except around the holidays and that kind of stuff. And then all the cruise lines, basically, if they have a casino, we have a contract. So not Disney, not Viking, but other than Disney and Viking, pretty much everybody else we can book you on those. And cruises, we have a lot of ability to present you as, no, you've never cruised on Norwegian, but we've hosted you on Royal, and on Royal you're X tier and have this score, and okay, great. Yeah, you've got that data on them. Sure, let's get them on and get things going. So a lot of locations, a lot of choices, and they're working on Boyd. I thought we had Boyd already, but last I was told is that we're still working on Boyd. So
you need to get that. Boyd, Rivers, and Live. I need you on those.
Well, it's not like they're taking orders from me yet, but it is ever evolving. Oh, the fun story about Seneca Niagara Falls, and this is not contemporary information by any stretch of the imagination, but Mrs. and I were there maybe 10, 12 years ago, and we went down to the casino, and most of the tables were full, and they had like 3-4 tables that were just in the process of opening up. And it's like, okay, well, let's just go grab drinks real quick, and then we'll come back and things will probably be opened up. And it's a big U-shaped bar with one bartender working one side and one bartender working the other. And so we went up, and the mode we were in as younger people at the time, I said, oh yeah, just give us each a shot of Jack and a Mick Ultra. And he goes, no, sir. We are not here to take advantage of settlers like you by getting you drunk. You can't get 2 drinks per person at the same time. And I thought he was being a little bit funny and sarcastic. So he comes over and he goes, here's your shots of Jack. Hey, Bill, this lovely couple's going to come over to get 1 beer from you because I'm not allowed to serve them 2 drinks. So we ordered a shot and a beer. He put the shots up and then yelled to the other bartender to pull the 2 beers out. We finished the shots and walked around to the other side of the bar and got our beers, thereby not breaking the tribe's rules about getting people drunk by serving them 2 drinks at the same time. And as I was like,
some game you got to play.
Yeah, well, but obviously he and Bill had played it a bunch, and it was fine. I think there was another time during that stay where we walked up and he was like, should I tell Bill to get you some beers? And it's like, yeah, tell Bill to get us some beers.
That's funny. It kind of reminds me of first time I gambled in St. Louis, where you could only lose so much in a certain amount of time. And if you did, you could come out and go in the other side and gamble on the other side. those rules have since changed, but it kind of reminds me of that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, guys, great stuff. Last call. Cool. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great evening.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Good night.
See you soon.
Everybody have a good night.
Take care, everybody.
Please tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, tip your dealers. If you have a host, tip your host. Remember your casino wisdoms. Don't tip away your wins. I have spoken. Everything you heard here is true from a certain point of view. In 10 years, we may find out we were all wrong about all of this. It's time for leaving, and I hope you understand. I was born a rambling man. Love it, hate it, it don't matter. Please share with your family and friends. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. The best part of the podcast is next, the Casino Combat Blues.
For Atlantic City Empress, Casino Combat's ace. There are profits in the casino tonight, I can feel it in my bones. I had a premonition, you should probably play alone. I know the house has an advantage, but that's part of the thrill. If we follow the core concepts, the chips begin to spill. So baby, here's your player's card, put your bankroll in your hand. Use just some of that money now, do it just the way we planned. Just follow the core concepts and you could win several grand. Well, it's good if it goes down like that, don't have to play to lose. It's gambling as a business, the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. The dealers and the pit bosses, the security and the law, the winning and the losing and the tricks nobody saw. No matter if it's blackjack, roulette or craps, you gotta carry defense cause you always carry cash. There's lots of shady characters, lots of dirty deals. Everybody has an alias cause that's more fun we feel. It's the lure of winning money, it's got a very strong appeal. Perhaps you'd understand it better standing in my shoes. It's the ultimate enticement, it's the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. Whoa. You don't see it in the headlines, you don't hear it every day. No one's trying to stop us and we don't need to go away. We can gamble in Atlantic City, we can gamble in LA, we can gamble out in Vegas. I mean, we're here to stay. Gambling's propping up the budgets of folks like me and you. You ask any casino manager, he'll say there's nothing he can do. From the pockets of the casino, right down to me and you. Me and you. It's a winning proposition and one you shouldn't refuse. It's just the core concepts, the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.